because it feels so somber this evening, and I'm not really sure why. Perhaps it is not more than personal reasons. Perhaps there's something to the season, right? Everyone's coming down off them summer highs, even though it's still hot as hell out. So I guess we got a few more weeks of that. It's still August for a few more days. And the equinox is until when? September 21st? We're holding on. Inhale so that we may descend into the underworld come winter. But I am feeling hopeful for spring already, which should say something. Like maybe things are meant to die, so more is meant to be reborn. What do you say? Either way, I'm back. Got these cards. The circle deck. To take a quick commercial break. So today I wanted outfit inspiration, and all I got was orange. And I liked it. Orange is maybe an underrated color. I've only met like 2 people in my life whose favorite color is orange. I don't think it's bad, but it was never really for me either. So I'm always up for a challenge. But then I wonder if it's worth discussing the aura or energy of a color like orange, because it's almost like no matter how dull you make it, it's still very bright. There's something about it that stands out, and maybe it's our attention to hazard or the way we tell cautionary tales in colors. Yellow, orange, green. We know what those mean. Red also, which is funny because I wore those colors the other night. I was talking about those colors, and I thought of a traffic light, right? But maybe I did bring up the hazardous thing already. That's so weird. Why has that been a theme lately? I don't know. Orange is very bold, which means it's probably brave. And it's very close to happiness, but just as close to anger, being between yellow and red. And sometimes orange is a bit of an amber where it has a summer glow to it, and it can be less of power and more empowering. Not quite royalty, but nothing so treacherous, although some may find orange to be offensive. Purple's complement? No, blues. Blues complement. Merging the two. Contrasting energies. The absence of sadness isn't necessarily happiness, but simply to be content. And that's what I would say of orange, is that it's relaxed and tense, because it doesn't let go, but it also doesn't hold on. And if my light turned orange, it would be on. just recently put out a piece of music, more than a piece. It was like a whole album that I didn't spend very much time on, about a decade worth of days, a few minutes essentially, and it's okay. I liked it. Nobody else did. But I'm trying not to let all these things crush me at once, because there's an honest truth to the way humans hurt, especially the way they hurt one another, and take so much for granted. It's bizarre. Something I personally never understand. And that is more or less why I like making music, is to release some of that hurt, right? I think that's why a lot of us do it. And I think that's why my pain builds up, is because the one thing that makes it feel better is something I keep from myself. Because as much as I can accept that people generally dislike me, for a lot of reasons, I've had to make peace with that. I'm loved by those who can beyond tolerate and actually see what I have to offer. But overall, more broadly, probably more haters than lovers. But a lot of lovers end up haters. What can you do? I hate too, right? Not myself though, just you. You might be thinking, what's the point? What's the point? Well, it's full of circles. It's very cyclical. It's like even when you're breaking a cycle, you are tested with something that you think is meant to break it and not keep you stuck in the same habitual patterns. But if you mistake the error, if maybe you see that what you were doing was meant to be all along, but it was, in fact, miscalculated, then perhaps the cycle is to repeat it at best. Break it for what it is, and accept that you might still do it again, because life is full of circles and we constantly run into each other. It's almost as if everyone wears their own bubble. Bubbles float, bubbles bounce, they pop and burst, but imagine something tougher than soap. It comes in circles, and circles move as waves, and we were talking about waves yesterday. So, I almost said be on the lookout. But for what? I have yet to figure that out. Be on the lookout. Somber. I think there's no real source of sadness other than it's quiet and the season is coming to an end, and that's always very difficult to know that the daylight is shortening and the temperatures are dropping and then the climate is changing. It's all very overwhelming. And I think there are essentially two kinds of people left in this world. And there are people who ignore that these things are going on, and there are people who not only face but combat them. Yes, you could only do so much, but if we were all doing the same stuff, maybe we'd get somewhere. Because it's kind of a scary world, and I don't think we realize it. Consider these messages from your angels because they do feel a bit channeled. And I did think aliens, but because I have the cosmic initiation in front of me, and that is the council, it's angels. They want you to power up and level up. Embrace what was. As if you gave the past a hug. So that you could let go and move on. And sometimes that's all you get. You have to be okay with that.